All right, well, good evening to all of you. On Fritzen here with you on a Sunday evening, December 28th. Hope you had a good Christmas. Coming live, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for a few counties down here in southwest Ohio this evening. That's why we're coming live right now. And we've been tracking this line of storms. It's been coming across Indiana. Now it's moving into Ohio. And as expected, we did see that the storm has died down in intensity, especially across northern Ohio. But right now, we're currently looking here in southwest Ohio. And I'm going to kind of back out to our default view, kind of give you more of a regional view here, and I'll turn off the Storm Prediction Center outlook here for today, kind of see what's going on along this line. We did expect it to die down, and it has. It's weakened in intensity. We're not seeing that tornado warnings that we were seeing back across Indiana. The good thing is it's continuing to die down. However, as this front continues to move across, we're going to see wind gusts, and especially in the northern part of Ohio, up by the lake, we could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, especially as we go into the morning hours, and we could see some patchy, icy roads tomorrow morning. That's another concern that we're dealing with here in Ohio today as well. So looking at this right now, we came live because there is a severe thunderstorm warning, and it does have a tag of tornado possible, so we did want to come live for that for you right now. So just kind of looking at that for everybody. Give me one quick second, trying to load everything up here. Having a little bit of a technical floozy here, but we're getting there. But we did come live because there is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for eastern Wayne County, that's in Indiana, Union County in Indiana, and for our counties in Ohio, Preble County, northwestern Butler County, southern Darke County, northwestern Montgomery County, and Miami County. So pretty big counties here in Ohio crossing the I-75 corridor. This severe thunderstorm warning goes until 9:45. They're saying right now that this is a line moving right near Greenville to Richmond, and hazardous 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And some of the big cities obviously included in this: Dayton, Huber Heights, Richmond, Troy, Troutwood, Oxford, Piqua, Vandalia, Englewood, Greenville, Tipp City, Eaton, West Milton, Covington, Liberty, Camden, Bradford, Lewisburg, and New Paris, along with I-70 and 75. And they did put this in, as you can kind of see here, they did put this tag tornado possible. That's what we're looking at on your screen. And they had said, remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from these thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room of your house. Well, I hope you're not looking for a tornado in the middle of the night. Hopefully you're staying put. But right now, that's what we came live for. We were debating whether to come live, but since we had the tornado possible tag, we want to go ahead and give everybody a heads up as much as we can on this particular storm cell. So we're moving in and we're zooming in down here towards Dayton. I want to kind of look at some things for you here. We're going to flip over to the reflectivity view, kind of looking at the velocity view, I should say, kind of looking at the winds. You can kind of see some of these embedded winds. Not in much of terms of what we're seeing as far as rotation, which is good. This is going to be more of a linear threat, which is going to be straight line winds of about 60 miles an hour. However, there are these pockets of instability that it's hitting, as we've seen across Indiana, that could potentially spin up a tornado. When we're dealing with this much wind shear in the atmosphere, any type of little brief spin up could spin up a brief isolated tornado. So that's why they went ahead and issued that tornado possible. So again, this is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, but we did want to come on here live, at least give you that kind of heads up on what's going on. I'm going to flip over to the ILN site. I was looking at everything out of Wilmington. This gives you a little bit better view for you. Really see those embedded packed winds now outside of Richmond, just outside of Boston, moving in here towards Eaton, kind of riding south of that I-70 corridor. So really, really looking at that there in Butler County. So heads up to you in Butler County, and kind of riding that line along Butler and Darke County. So really see that embedded winds that's moving across the, kind of moving across that 70 corridor. And let's see if we can go ahead and put this into motion for you. Let me go ahead and cue that up real quick, and we'll kind of put this. Let's see here. Well, maybe it won't cue up for me. It's having one of those moments today. It's doing its sweep, but let's see here. Okay, we'll make it a liar out of me. I guess we're not going to cue that up. I'll try to see if we can pull up something else for us to look at here in just a moment. So if you're just joining us, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to back out here, kind of give you a reset what we got this line of showers and some embedded thunder along this line, but mainly the severe threat has ended for northern Ohio. However, I say that, but we're going to see wind gusts potentially over 60 miles an hour along the lakeshore. So kind of dealing with one and or the other here, but due to the severe thunderstorm warning that is tagged tornado possible again, that's why we're coming live here. Again, National Weather Service out of Wilmington issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the counties here in Ohio. There, we're looking at Preble County, northwestern Butler County, southern Darke County, northwestern Montgomery County, and Miami County. This goes until 9:45, and right now, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts is the current hazard that they have on this, but they did tag it tornado possible. Does include the big cities, Huber Heights, Dayton, Troy, Trotwood, Tipp City, Eaton, several portions of I-70 and even 75. So they are looking at this. And we'll see an update here hopefully in a minute, in just a few minutes. But again, the biggest story today, and I kind of hit this a little bit because, yes, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, but primarily for wind gusts. And across Ohio tonight and into tomorrow, you're going to see some pretty good wind gusts, especially across the northern portions of Ohio, Seneca, Sandusky counties, Huron counties, Erie counties, all the way across the lakeshore counties. You do have that high wind warning that kicks into effect overnight tonight, and you're going to see some gusts up to 60 miles an hour with sustained winds 40 to 50 right now. So that's going to get pretty gusty across Ohio. Definitely would expect to see potentially some power outages with this tomorrow. And then we do have to look at the factor of how much rain we get tonight and then how fast those temperatures fall. Will we get a flash freeze tomorrow morning? That's the better question of the day as well. So we're going to continue to look at that and can try to continue to see what happens there in the overnight hours. It's kind of one of those nowcasting type events. The good thing that we've seen with this severe thunderstorm warning, we haven't heard any reports out of this, and we haven't seen a ton of reports coming out of this for a while, even across Indiana. We've been watching this, and we did want to come live again because they tagged that tornado possible. But like I said before, we do have so much atmospheric wind shear in the atmosphere right now that any little instability pocket it hits, we could see some brief rotation. So kind of zooming in here, you can kind of see it's kind of rattling right along that 70 corridor. This is where that main pocket of wind that is right now. It kind of zoom in even further. We'll see if I can pick that out for you. They're showing 60, about 70. You can kind of see there on your screen, 69 miles an hour outgoing. So definitely getting some really good wind gusts here across Butler County. So it's kind of very interesting. Well over 60 in many spots here in Butler County. That's the main pocket right now that we're continuing to look at across the area. The rest of this, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning, especially as we get into Vandalia and even the northern portions of Dayton. We're starting to see some of these other wind gusts. I'll see if I can turn the telestration tool on. Starting to see some of these other wind gusts. Sorry, that's a bad line. Moving kind of this direction here as it kind of pushes off towards the north and towards the east just a little bit, but really kind of found that 70 line quite a bit as well. So we're looking at that. That's why that's such a big area that's been lit up for this severe thunderstorm warning. So again, I'll kind of reiterate just a little bit here on everybody. I know a lot of people are watching, across Ohio today. We don't expect, and I'm going to flip this back over to reflectivity real quick. We don't expect a ton of severe weather. We've been saying that. If you're just joining me, welcome. Sunday evening with you, Owen Fritz here, Ohio News and Weather. If you're just joining us, we're live because of that severe thunderstorm warning that is down by Dayton. That's tagged tornado possible. However, across Ohio today, tonight, I should say, we're going to see wind. That's going to be the name of the game all night. Everybody in Ohio is under some sort of wind advisory or high wind warning. High wind warnings across the lakeshore. That's what we're going to see. This is why we're kind of in a catch-22, because here's the thing. Many times we see severe thunderstorm warnings for wind gusts 60 miles an hour, or 58 being the actual terminology for a severe thunderstorm warning. But along the lakeshore, as we get into the overnight and into tomorrow morning, we could see winds in excess of up to 60-mile-an-hour gusts. That's just from wind. We're having this massive cyclone that's coming through, but we could see just strong winds without any of the rain and potentially snow tomorrow. So we're looking at all those factors as well. So we're kind of in that catch-22. I don't think, as far as a lot of people are asking more about the tornado threat, I think that's very limited. I think you're more likely going to see damage from straight line winds tonight versus a tornado. So I think the wind is more the impact that we're going to be seeing. If we do have a brief spin up, isolated tornado, I think the wind gust potentially could be stronger as far as straight line damaging winds and cause more damage. And that's with or without this line of storms. But this line has quickly died off, especially across northern Ohio. We've seen some pretty good severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings coming across Indiana in the northern part of this line. As expected, the sunlight kind of died down, especially across the northern flank of this storm. It has died off considerably as it's moved into the overnight hours here. We're moving about 9:30. You could see that the National Weather Service did trim this warning back just a little bit, so we'll get the latest update here for you if you're watching it. And we'll kind of zoom back in just a little bit here towards Dayton, kind of zoom down in this warning area. And kind of looking at it here, let's take a peek here. This still is tagged tornado possible on the update. Still goes until 9:45. I want to see if they reissued the update. It looks like they trimmed that out. Let's see. Update. No, they didn't. I still have that as the original warning, but I don't know why I can't pull the update. Let's see here. Give me one quick second. And go ahead and take a peek here. Yeah, so getting some live data here. Wayne County, Indiana. Talking to our team on the backside. Not even in the warning, but thunderstorm gusts 67 miles an hour in Wayne County, 1 mile northeast of Boston. In Indiana, and no warning on that one. So that's kind of the challenge here with this is we're going to be dealing with some strong winds and not a lot of severe warnings. Now they went ahead and issued another severe thunderstorm warning. You see that pop on your screen. We'll go ahead and pull that one up here as well. Give me one quick second. I got to flip over to one other thing. So the general line is we're going to see some rain tonight. Most generally, everybody see a little bit of precipitation as it moves across Ohio. Don't think we're going to see a lot in the terms of severe threat. We're starting to wind that down. The southern flank is held on just a little bit. They did went ahead and issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for this northern one here for portions of Lockington and Sidney and Versailles. And this one they just issued until 10 o'clock. They're stating it was right over near Greenville, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. And that's what they got tagged there. They also tagged this tornado possible. So we got two severe thunderstorm warnings tagged tornado possible, again, due to those extreme winds. Let's go ahead and turn on the velocity again. Kind of see here, we got some really strong wind gusts. I'm zooming way in down here in Butler County. Look at this in Eaton, really strong winds. Let's go ahead and put the picker back on here. We're up to 62, 63. This is radar indicated. And then the latest update come in and kind of drop that for me. But still well over 60 in some pockets there with this particular storm. Oops, sorry about that. Zooming way in there on Eaton. Let me drop that and go back here. And then up here, they went ahead and issued this other one. We're not seeing quite a strong a return on this one, but there is some embedded winds up to about 60 miles an hour. Getting some ground truth on that one. And we do have to be careful, especially along a line like this with this much wind shear in the atmosphere. When we look at things here, I look at things right here. Like my eye goes right there for potential of some rotation along this line. You kind of get some of these little phalanges going on, and we have to look at those very carefully. Right now, it's not showing any signs of real rotation, but that's always our first starting point that we continue to look at when we're seeing severe weather and severe storms traipse across the Ohio, and I would say Ohio Valley here today, Miami Valley. And let's go ahead and I'm zooming in on some other product. Give me 1 second, looking at off screen at some things here. Yeah, most generally, it's just a straight up wind threat right now. I'm not seeing much in the way of rotation, really, and I'm looking at a product off screen that calculates inbound, outbound winds and that sort of thing and looks at our rotation. Again, a lot of straight line winds going in with this. Again, not seeing a ton of rotation right now, which is a good sign. And they went ahead and trimmed that warning back, as you can see there as well. So let me go ahead and zoom back out for you so we can get a better picture of this thing. Really some strong winds. And my other product here down in Preble County, really looking at this. Preble and Butler counties really looking at this as some really strong winds. So be careful with that as well. So let me go ahead and flip over back to reflectivity. Again, if you're just joining us, I'll zoom back out here. We're in southeast Ohio. That's really what's going on as far as the severe threat. The threat as far as severe weather overall for tonight is diminishing greatly. The Storm Prediction Center, I'll kind of flip over that category outlook real quick. You can kind of see in the darker green, we're moving out of that slight risk category into the marginal risk category, which is expected. As the sun has died out, it's starting to lose some heating. However, due to we're still seeing a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere, which means you could have the potential of some rotation. But again, we're also seeing the temperature gradient. We're seeing the pressure gradient drop, which is going to create those high winds tonight, especially for most of us across Ohio. We're all under some sort of wind advisory or all there's some sort of wind advisory or high wind warning across the lakeshore there. So again, if you're in these areas, I'll go ahead and rattle off the warnings for you once again. Just make sure you're indoors and staying away from windows. We're seeing some powerful punches come out of this, potentially of some storms that are seeing well over, I would say, 60-mile-an-hour gusts that are coming out of that. So just looking here, I'm really trying to look on my other tool, if I can get it to come up, see if we got anything coming. There we go. See if we can get anything coming up here in our alert areas. It's kind of crazy too right now, and I'm looking at our internal dashboard, and one of the things that I'm seeing, it's just really crazy. I wish I could show this to you, but our internal dashboard, we got severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible. Then over to my right, I see lake effect snow warning. So we do have that for portions in Ashtabula County. We're seeing that as well. Up to 10 inches of snow is what they're saying. Think about that one, folks. Up to 10 inches of snow, Cuyahoga, Geauga, Lake, Portage, Summit, and Trumbull County. And then a winter weather advisory for Ashtabula County and pretty much all those counties as well. So definitely they're going to be getting hit in that snow belt area up there by Cleveland, but with some really strong wind gusts tomorrow and a high wind warning. And what a crazy setup here in December. We're seeing thunder, we're seeing some lightning in this tonight, and then tomorrow snow pretty much across the area as well. Again, we talked about potentially a flash freeze situation tomorrow morning. We are continuing to look at that, and we'll have to continue to see what happens there as well as it continues to move across and the temperatures continue to fall as we move into tomorrow morning. I will say one good thing that I have seen, and I'm looking at some of the other ones. I have not seen a ton of storm reports come across Indiana, so that's a good thing. So I've not seen a ton of that as we moved across there. Looking at some of the top gusts in Ohio right now within the last hour. Really, the top gust was in Lorain, and that was at 8:53. I'm not sure when that refreshed. It did refresh it. Yeah, it's still popping there. So I think you're going to get some more gusts in there right now, but still not seeing a ton of things going on there as far as really, really strong wind gusts. I'm going to check another thing out for us. I'm going to check out our friends at poweroutages.io and see what we got going on, poweroutages.us, see what we got going on. If I could spell it right. Poweroutage.us. There we go. Kind of looking at the live data here. Yeah, Illinois had a ton of things, and portions of Michigan had a ton of things as well. But not seeing a ton in Indiana. We're seeing a little bit in some of those areas, but not seeing a ton. Right now, Wayne County, they have about 1,100 customers out of power in Wayne County, which is where we did see a gust just a few minutes ago in Wayne County, Indiana. That was at 67 miles an hour, which makes sense while we're seeing some power outages there. In Ohio, in Hocking County, for some weird reason, you guys in Hocking County, we have 600 customers out, kind of a localized incident there, but nothing really going on as far as the terms of power outages at the exact moment, but we're continuing to watch that and continuing to track that as well. So that's kind of a good sign as we're seeing some of the history that's coming across with this particular storm. I'll turn off the category outlook, kind of get back into here. Got our first report popped in here. Let's see, AWAS station. Yep, 67. I already read that in Wayne County, Indiana. So I can tell you, based on that situation, as that moved over into Preble County, that was the reason probably they issued the severe thunderstorm warning for that, because we're seeing some of those embedded winds. And let's go ahead and flip back over to our reflectivity from velocity to reflectivity. Reverse that. Excuse me, reflectivity to velocity. It's been a long day. And you still see some of those embedded winds well over about 58 miles an hour, which is the criteria. And then up here, they must have had some ground truth or something to this one for issuing that northern flange, but they're still seeing here, still saying 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. So I'm going to zoom back out here, and we are going to look here. I'm just going to rattle off these severe thunderstorm warnings for you. Let's go ahead and get started here with this northern one, the newest one that we've had. This one goes until 10 o'clock, so this is that newer one. Again, they updated this one just a few minutes ago, stating it's moving northeast at 55 miles an hour, so they're trucking. You can see the storm motion on our screen right now says 64. They clocked it at 55 miles an hour. And again, this severe thunderstorm remains in effect until 10 o'clock for southern Shelby and east central Darke and northern Miami counties. And again, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and they do tag this tornado possible. Going down to the southern flank, this is kind of bigger. They have trimmed some of this out just a little bit. We're going to get a refresh here on the, we're going to go into the T-Day, which is the radar there at the Dayton International Airport. Kind of seeing here some more of the embedded winds, but looking at this one here, give me one quick second. I lost my screen, my readout screen. There we go. Looking at this other one, this one goes until 9:45. The southern warning, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, again tagged tornado possible. Again, moving east at 55 miles an hour. But zooming in here on T-Day, looking at this, looking at some of these embedded winds, getting a pretty good view here coming out of the Dayton Airport terminal Doppler. Kind of see here these little phalanges. We do like to watch those, because if we were to have some spin-ups, it'd be right along those kinks in the line. This northern one has died down, in my opinion, quite a bit. So not sure, and I'm not 100% sure what was going on with that one. There must have been some ground truth, because I didn't see anything as far as there might have been a couple embedded things that I missed of some stronger winds. But you got to keep in mind, we're going to see wind gusts probably in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range across Ohio. So best thing to do, I can tell you right now, is before you go to bed tonight, make sure that you charge your devices. Charge your phones, charge your tablets in case you have a power outage. It's important that you do that and make sure you're prepared for that tomorrow, especially if you're across northern Ohio. We have so much strong wind coming across northern Ohio tomorrow, and just crazy amounts of weather and snow, and then severe thunderstorms, and it's all kind of crazy. Kind of looking here, I kind of zoomed in on this one a little bit, because I just, again, looked at that little kink. This is what we got to watch. We got to watch these little teeny kinks. I'm going right in there. Got to watch those kinks as they start to try to do a little bit of rotation, but nothing too strong at this point. So it'd be interesting to see what the National Weather Service does, if they continue this downstream or not. We're not getting a ton of reports coming in. Again, the latest report that we had, I'm going to flip this back over, kind of reflectivity in this area. Latest report that we had was out of Wayne County, Indiana, from the AWA station. That's 67 miles an hour, and there is a lot of power outages, again, with that particular storm cell. That happened in Wayne County, Indiana. So that's my venture on why they issued this particular set of warnings here for portions of the Dayton, not Dayton Metro, kind of the northern part, and kind of moving on up into Tip City, Piqua, in that area, and Troy as well. Lima. So kind of looking at some of your questions. Can Lima go to bed? Kind of zooming out here. Lima, you're going to have maybe a couple of thunder showers. I hate to even say thunderstorms, but a couple of thunder showers here over the next hour or so. But kind of zooming in, Lima, you're pretty much good. You're pretty much good to go to bed. Allen County, you could pretty much go to bed. It's going to continue to weaken. We have said that today. This line has really continued to weaken. Bucyrus, I would think you're good to go. Pretty much that northern part really pretty much ready to go to bed. You have to keep in mind, though, you're probably going to get woken up because and at about 2, 3 in the morning, we're starting to see this wind just start to pop up behind it, and it's going to get a little nutty. I can just say it that way. We're starting to see that powerful front move through, and wind gusts, especially across northern Ohio, could reach up to 60-mile-an-hour gusts. So that's even crazier. So let me take a look here. It's not exactly loading how I want it, but such a powerful pressure gradient of what's going on here with those winds. It's really nuts. Let's see. The good thing is that northern one, they took the tornado possible tag out. So they just updated this particular one here in the north, and it says tornado possible tag, but on the actual readout it doesn't say that. So that's a good thing. And again, as these continue to move off to the east, we do expect them to continue to die off. Let's see here. Yeah, gusts around Ohio right now, kind of in the 30s. We're seeing. I'm trying to see if we can find. That is definitely not what I wanted. This is what I was looking for. See if I can get this to load up. Those strong wind gusts. Yeah, this is boy, this is a very terrible image, but let me see if I can pull this up. The strongest of those winds as that front keeps colliding is starting to kick up over Indiana. We're starting to look here and starting to see them kick up over Indiana, Illinois. So it's definitely starting to come in. And temperature-wise, we're going to continue to fall. But those winds are really starting to pick up over Illinois. And again, as that pressure gradient moves through, we're just going to continue to fall down and going to see some really, really, really strong winds as it moves through. All right, so kind of just recapping here for you. Not a lot of craziness going on. I think I don't think there's a lot of ground truth with some of this. Like I said, we did see the one ground truth in Wayne County, and I think that's what really prompted these warnings. Because at one point, National Weather Service out of Wilmington said they didn't anticipate issuing any warnings. They pretty much thought the threat has subsided. However, that wind gust at the ASAW station there in Wayne County, Indiana, you can see the marker there down there, has really prompted that warning. But I do think I'm reading a bunch of things right now. I don't think, in all honesty, I don't think they're really going to continue on with this. There is no lightning with this. I'm looking at some stuff in the background. These storms have really, really died off. And my opinion to everybody is make sure you have a way to receive warnings tonight. That's the general best thing to do. You can download our free app, Ohio News and Weather. Search for it in the App Store. The biggest thing that we got to worry about is high winds tonight. Most generally across the lakeshore counties, you're going to see really strong winds that's going to press in, and we're really going to see gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour as we head into tomorrow morning. Across Ohio, pretty much everybody's under a wind advisory or a high wind warning, and we're going to see some strong wind gusts. And I venture to say overnight, you're going to probably, potentially, if you're a light sleeper, you're going to get woke up for some wind that's blowing around. And we'll have to watch. The biggest thing, I think the biggest threat now, as these start to move and start to die down, the biggest threat now is going to be power outages as we head into the overnight hours. Indiana's seen an uptick a little bit here over the last 5 minutes, mainly coming out of the Wayne County area. But the good thing is, even for some of the areas that we've seen some of the tornado warnings on and some of the severe thunderstorm warnings on, not seeing a whole lot of damage reports at all. So a little bitty whateverville, I don't see a lot of damage reports coming out of little bitty Ittyville in Indiana. So I don't see a ton of those, which is a good thing for us. And again, I think these warnings are going to set to expire on time. Zero lightning. It's tried its best, but I think right now all of its energy's dead. And again, I don't think these warnings are going to continue on past their expiration time. It's decision time right now, National Weather Service. So this one, I'm sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. I don't even know who from our team's running the comments right now, but it's hilarious. And I apologize. I wish I could answer everybody's questions, but I can't. Sometimes I miss them as they fly by. But I don't think this one's going to be reissued. It's going to expire in 2 minutes, and then this northern one is set to expire at 10 o'clock. I'll bet you they dropped that one early as well. Again, looking at... Oh, it's Mr. Spencer. Hello. I wondered. Kind of looking at this, it's really, really died down. Let's take a look at T-Day here, zooming in here one more time. Yeah, this thing has really died off over the last few scans. Got some little phalange, little kinks in the line, but still nothing in the terms of any type of strong rotation that I'm seeing at all with this particular cell as it's moving through. Again, I think your stronger bet. Again, the southern warning is expired now, by the way. I'll drop off here in just a minute. The southern warning is now officially expired. So we only have this one on the top of the board right now. But again, I think this one will be expiring. They got this one going until 10 o'clock. I highly doubt it. But they still have it tagged. I believe that they dropped the tag tornado possible. I have to see if, they still have that one tagged tornado possible. They still have that tag there, but again, they haven't updated that one in a minute either. So the latest update came out. See if I can look and see. 9:37. So they haven't updated that one in a minute, but I'd be curious to see what happens here over the next couple of minutes on that one. So, all right. So I tell you what, we're not going to keep it on here just for the sake of keeping it on here. But I'm going to zoom back out, kind of put the regional radar on for you. I'm going to put the national composite on and kind of take off the other one so you don't get confused. And this is kind of what we're dealing with right now, kind of looking at this line. We do have that strong pressure that's behind here. That pressure gradient is coming. The pressure change is coming. That's what creates wind, folks. So you're going to see some aches and pains probably tomorrow, especially if you're prone to that type of pressure. But... nothing crazy. This warning, that northern warning, I expect will definitely die off as we move forward here. Like I said, the good thing is we're not seeing a lot of damage reports at all that came out of Indiana. We were very shocked to see these warnings ourselves, but we decided to come live due to that fact. And again, I think this whole warning was prompted due to that 67-mile-an-hour wind gust that was brought to the National Weather Service's attention out of Wayne County, Indiana, at that weather station there. So, yeehaw! I was just reading the comment there. We're not in Kansas anymore. That is very true. I-70 north. You got some rain gusts. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I would agree. I think that northern warning is going to expire early. I think it'll be done here in a few minutes. Don't know what they're doing there, but we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So kind of the summary is everybody's going to see wind tonight, okay? Everybody's going to see wind tonight. Everybody's under some sort of wind advisory, high wind warning. You name it, we got it in Ohio, right? So tonight we're going to see this rain move through. The biggest question is does the roads clear out and dry off before it starts to freeze tomorrow morning? That's the bigger question of the day. Is there enough precipitation and moisture to create some slick spots in the morning hours tomorrow? So we have to wait and see on that. So as you're heading into work potentially tomorrow, make sure that you're taking your time because you may have a couple of slick spots tomorrow. We're continuing to look at that. That's kind of a situation. Our snow belt counties are underneath that, definitely underneath some winter weather advisories, and it's kind of crazy to see that they're under what they're actually underneath that, along with lake effect snow warnings as well. Tomorrow we're going to see some precipitation as far as snow for some people, really light accumulations, but definitely crazy. Definitely crazy. So I tell you, we're going to continue to watch this storm for you, and we're continuing to watch some of the some of the line here back in Piqua where that warning is still at. We're kind of waiting to see. It's dying down quite a bit, but we're continuing to watch that storm cell. But the biggest thing is make sure you have a way to receive warnings before you go to bed tonight. Other than that, I think you're pretty much good to go. I think we're going to see this line continue to weaken as it moves across. The big story is going to be wind. So, all right, that's it. Make sure you download our app, Ohio News and Weather, from the App Store, Google Play Store. Keep note that we will be here monitoring these overnight, so if there is something that we need to come back live for, we will do that. I don't really think so. Let's just hope not. Weather Nature has proven me wrong before, but we'll continue to be with you as we need to overnight. Don't expect a lot of that, but I do expect the story to be wind tomorrow. Charge those devices. Make sure you have those devices charged in case we do deal with some prolonged power outages tomorrow. That's the biggest thing I think we're going to be dealing with. So with that, I'm going to say have a good evening. Have a good evening. If we need to continue to come back live, we will. And make sure you stay tuned here. Download the app. Have your weather preparedness kit, all that stuff you should have done before now, ready to roll. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. We'll come back live as needed.